The headlines tonight: the shocking number of infant deaths. More babies die before their first birthday here than anywhere else in the country.
There's that cliche, and their life's too short, and she proved that. She was only alive for 27 minutes.
We'll be looking at what's being done to reduce the number of baby deaths. Also tonight, boosting skills and improving transport connections, where the money will be spent on the Midlands engine.
You'll see more money being invested in road improvements across the Midlands. You'll see money being invested in skills. We've got a skills challenge fund for the West Midlands.
The challenges of what should be a simple act: using the bus if you're blind.
Browsing in a bookshop, the secret hidden letter worthy of Enid Blyton.
And today we had sunshine, blue skies and temperatures up into their mid-teens, but it's all change as we head into tomorrow with more cloud. It's staying dry though, and a little cooler for the weekend. More details on the way later.
Good evening. The statistics are as shocking as they are inexplicable. More babies die before their first birthday here in the West Midlands than anywhere else in the country. Health professionals are trying to reduce the numbers of deaths by 20% by 2021. Maternity services are being overhauled, and in Birmingham, Finnish-style baby boxes are being handed out to expectant parents for their babies to sleep in. But for some, help has come too late. This special report by Sarah Bishop.
Everything about her was perfect, just perfect.
Chubby cheeks, little button nose.
Callie lived for barely half an hour, but for 3 whole days while she was in a special cold cot in hospital, her parents Matt and Crystal cared for her as if she were alive.
I'd, for like the longest time, waited to hold a baby.
Delivered by emergency C-section last June, Khalid died from an interuterine infection, the doctors said. Matt and Crystal think that may not be the full story. They're still in shock, their world upside down, and they're not alone. The West Midlands has the worst infant mortality rate in the country. It's 6.1 per 1,000 live births. That's 6 out of 1,000 babies not making it to their first birthday. But it's only when you compare our figures to the rest of the country that you see just how bad we are. The next worst region, for instance, is the East Midlands with 4.6. The UK and England average is 3.9, and in the South East the rate is just 3. But if we look in more detail, you can see some quite shocking anomalies. Stoke-on-Trent in the West Midlands has a rate of 9.4. That's almost 1 in 100 babies in the city not surviving. Birmingham is 7.9. Even Warwickshire and Worcestershire are 5, way above the national average. No wonder expectant mums were queuing up in Hall Green this week to receive a free baby box. In Finland, where they've been handed out by the state since the 1930s, they're credited with helping reduce infant mortality from over 60 per 1,000 live births to just 2 today. Vicky Raymond from Solihull gave birth to Charlie 4 months ago.
You do try and do all the right things, you know, get the right blankets, get the right room temperature and all that sort of stuff. So to have sort of a big scheme like this promoting safe sleeping, I think is fabulous.
18,500 boxes are to be distributed as part of a wider strategy to cut infant deaths in the Birmingham area by 20%. An audit is to be carried out into the deaths of all babies over the past 3 years.
We're going to use the information we gather there, so what was mum's weight, did mum smoke, what ethnicity was mum from, had she had a booking appointment, attended her scans, all of that information we will gather, and we'll use that to identify ways that we can reduce infant mortality in Birmingham and Solihull.
This was Callie's coming home outfit.
Callie will be among those babies whose stories are reviewed. Her parents say infant mortality rates for Birmingham are shameful and that there needs to be more openness about the subject.
This needs to change. It has to change. It has to change to change the rates as well.
They're now thinking of setting up a charity in Callie's name to help other bereaved parents. Sarah Bishop, BBC Midlands Today in Birmingham.
Well, the Lily May Foundation supports parents and families who've been affected by the death of a baby. Ryan Jackson from the charity joins me now. Good evening, Ryan. Thanks very much for coming in. An absolutely devastating thing to happen to parents, and I know that you know Matt and Crystal, who we just saw in that film. Tell us a little bit more about what the foundation does.
So the foundation was set up in 2010 primarily to support parents and families who have suffered from stillbirth or neonatal death. So it's not just for the parents, it's for grandparents and wider family and friends as well.
What support can you offer?
We offer lots of different support. So we offer a lot of support through social media. You know, if people want to message us, we get back to them as quickly as possible. We do have a contact number as well at our offices where, you know, people contact us. Email support, face-to-face support. We offer, we hold support group meetings as well. So yeah, lots of different routes really.
And the rates of infant mortality, infant deaths seem, well, they are much higher in the West Midlands than anywhere else. Do you have any idea why that might be?
Traditionally, the rates of perinatal mortality within the Midlands is quite high anyway. It really comes down to demographics. We live in an area where, you know, we have a very diverse population, so ethnicity plays a big part. We have lots of parents who sadly smoke throughout pregnancy. We have a high teenage pregnancy rate within the Midlands as well.
So some of this could be prevented?
Absolutely, yeah. Certainly with better education, it definitely can be prevented.
But for those parents who are affected by this, do you think it's still a taboo subject?
Yeah, I believe it is taboo. You know, people do cross the road when you know, sadly, we hear of a lot of stories where people will cross the road because they don't want to ask the question, and I can understand it to an extent. However, as a bereaved parent myself, I'd rather people actually ask me the question because I want to speak about my daughter, as do other bereaved parents want to speak about their children. So,
Ryan, we really appreciate you coming in today. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much indeed. Thanks. That's Ryan Jackson. Thank you.